awards were to really inculcate the spirit of sisterhood, of authenticity, of resilience, of womanhood integrity. And I think that that's one of the things that you'll see with the honorees and the recipients of these awards, as well as the recognition that we will be handing over this evening. And one of the things as well that's a real core, and something that I'm really hoping will happen today, is there's that intergenerational gap between women and young girls. And I'm hoping that you're sitting next to someone that you know, but throughout the evening, just go up to someone that you don't know and, have a moment of mentorship or a moment of sponsorship, and use this time, these couple of hours that we have, to really get to know each other. And who knows, the next fabulous women that you sponsored tonight might be a startup, or might be an MPC or an NPO founder that's going to do incredible things for South Africa.
Caring. Helpful, powerful, helpful, caring, and beautiful. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Amasha Manzi, the daughter of Fonsa Manzi. You guys know her as the founder of the Fabulous Women Awards, but I know her as a mother, sweet and kind. Women should be treated like queens. We are all important. At some point in life, you might feel that you want to change yourself, but you are beautiful just the way you are. We all have a passion, so let's embrace it and share it with other people. God loves us, and we are all blessed. Thank you.
Of celebrating excellence and ethical women with girls in different communities. We've been to the Eastern Cape, Northwest, Gauteng, all over South Africa. A special welcome to our VVIP guest from Sinenjomo. May I ask all of the VIPs to stand up? Girls from Sinenjomo. This evening is about Professor Katie, Caroline from Fred and Last. You are all amazing. We can't wait to drink from your well of wisdom and experience. I would also like to thank our sponsors, IDC. Thank you so much for covering refreshments for this event and sponsoring the IDC Job Creation Award. We are really honored, and please do more. We need more. We don't want to host 30 girls, we like to host 100 girls. So support these initiatives, not only golf and music and jazz, to change the life of a girl in your immediate community or wherever you go. The incident in Strand made me realize how much information we have that we take as a given that other people know. I was just driving to the winelands, and that's when I saw the community. I always like to know what's happening around me. And I got into Strand, that's when I met the community and saw how people live, how poor people are. The opportunity to sit like we are sitting now. We spend most of the time in restaurants, sipping on barbies, but people next door to us are really struggling. And I always say I wouldn't like to find myself in a situation where my son was killed because someone wanted to put food on the table. So it is up to us to stand up and say enough is enough. We cannot wait for government. We are born leaders. We have to play our part. I started the Fab Girls Foundation to help raise the kind of young women who will change their narrative and that of their society and the world by concentrating on personal development to better their lives. We do a lot of workshops for the girls. Since 2016, we started with entrepreneurship programs. We still need sponsors where we can train these girls on accredited courses. I run a training company, and it would be nice to train young women and young men on qualifications that are credible, but we really need funds to be able to do that. In short, I'm a women empowerment activist, and the Fabulous Women Awards and the school's outreach programs done by the Fab Girls Foundation are my attempt in impacting the world within my competence and in my sphere of influence. It is time we change the narrative. Join me in telling a different story. I believe that it starts with building confidence in young girls by running workshops that build their character, morals, etiquette, and a sense of purpose in our young girls. and also, of course, offer them bursaries to go and study further. Take them into learnerships if you run a corporate company or you run a small business and you need people to work for you. We as women, we need to inspire and support one another. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Remember that each one of you is a masterpiece. Never underestimate your potential. You can change this world. You are limitless. Thank you.
Got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off of it, moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop. And under the lights, when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine, nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel a good, good.
Our keynote address for this evening. She is a UNICEF special advocate, she's a media entrepreneur, and she's an all-round fabulous woman who's doing incredible things with the work and the organizations that she's founded as well as supporting. Please welcome and put your hands together for Carol Fowler.
Beautiful to see my name built next to yours, because it says to me that in my own small way I am becoming limitless. I am very grateful for women such as yourself. Ladies, gentlemen, the few gentlemen that are here present tonight, thank you for taking the time on a Saturday evening to come and honor young women. We talk about how dedicated we are to young South African women, but it is not something that you see in action all the time. So together on a Saturday evening to dress up and say to them that we're going to wear our clothes that cost more than 900 Rand, it says to them that they matter. So I think the first round of applause for tonight should go to all of you for what you've done by coming out tonight. I went on Google and looked at a couple of women who are from afar that I thought could remind each of us that we are limitless. And this is when Ponsa asked me to speak to you on the topic of you being your own limit. I knew I had to say yes because of the many frivolous excuses that I in my life had made about why I couldn't achieve certain things, and this is what has retarded my own progress. You know, when people see you, they see the achievements, but you, when you look in the mirror, you always know what you haven't achieved. You always know your failures. And until such time that we admit that publicly with everybody else, we're living a lie. We have to be able to say to people, that we also have scars, we also have burns a little bit, and I'd like to share that with you tonight. I have said things like, bear with me, I'm still young, and now I can't anymore. I've said things like, bear with me, I'm from Soweto, and now I can't anymore. Bear with me, I'm not connected, I'm connected to all of you now. Bear with me, because a lot of them don't like me because I don't sound like them, and I sound South African, I sound like everyone. Bear with me because of this, that, and the other. I think you all know if you can't find an excuse, we invent it, because we need to be able to say, bear with me. As we ponder upon this, I think of a young girl born in the projects in the United States of America, who went on to become the first Black female billionaire. And she's done this in our lifetime. From the projects to the first Black female billionaire. Hers was a foundation beset with neglect, with abuse. She was raped by an uncle, pain and abject poverty. But miraculously, she went on to command the attention of all whose attention the rest of us covered. She's Oprah Winfrey, of course, as you know. Media mogul, humanitarian, and ultimate. I think she shares the mantle with my girl boss sitting over there. J.K. Rowling not only uprooted herself from a life of misery, despair, and poverty, she created multi-millionaires in the actors that came to end up acting in the movies honoring her books. And she did this by penning her thoughts and believing that they were worthy for others to read. My own upbringing deeply connects me to these women because my foundation was not a glorious one. My father, who cannot be said to have been a poor man, died when I was 2. And my mother was left with nothing. Remarried somebody who had very little. And I'm very fortunate that what was lacking in monetary terms, we had in love, in nurture, and in support. People laugh when I say that, I could rattle off, as I work now as a UNICEF ambassador, it feels like I was being reared towards this. Because as a young girl, Papa, my stepdad, would make me read the newspapers. And I remember being made to spell the name Boutros Ghali. Some of you remember who that was? Yeah. And it was a very difficult name to spell, but because every Saturday he made me read the newspapers, by the time I was 10 years of age, it was very natural for me to just pick up the newspaper wherever I was and just begin to read it. Unfortunately, I didn't pass on the same things to my son. He has no desire to pick up newspapers. The NASA space program, we came to learn, can count many women who came from a background similar to mine and a lot of you young girls who held the program just through sheer determination to will the spaceships to heights never before reached. And these women did that by using their ability to realize that they were without limit. The name Sarah Breedlove, otherwise known to all of us as Madam C.J. Walker, is certainly a name that resonates with a lot of us. Eulogized as one of the wealthiest self-made African Americans ever. Walker was a hair care entrepreneur, philanthropist, activist, and patron of the arts. My job, I'm a producer. My job is to curate environments and make sure that I support you to thrive. But what I do want to leave you with is just be alive to the moment, because you are our hope. I want to see you on my talk show in a few years' time, because I continue to fight for Mozambique. We're entering our 20th season soon. Can you believe that? Importantly, I want to see you when we enter season 50. Because unlike Oprah, I don't have billions, I'll never retire. But I want to see you so that you can tell me how you've passed it on, whose life you've made better because tonight happened for you. I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm just going to stay and listen to Prof, and then I'm going to run off and go home and sleep. I love you all. I'm very, very privileged to be here tonight. And I thank you. I thank all of you for honoring the girls, and I thank you girls for showing up.
That she had mentioned, an incredible woman. She's also the ambassador of the Freda and Lust Wine Estate, and she's a winemaker. So many gems to pick up from that. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome me in introducing our speaker, second speaker for this evening, Karen Lau.
I grew up in a very loving household and support, or family support, but all amazing family support. Now, come on guys, let's be honest with each other. At 6 years old, you don't actually know how wine is made or actually how wine needs to taste. But I was 110% convinced that this would be the career choice that I want to follow. So I was privileged, as I say, to start my university background at the University of Stellenbosch, and for me it was a dream come true. So I had a very jolly first year, and maybe too jolly at a stage, and I didn't always remember the main reason for being there as a result of many distractions. At the end of my first year, I noticed that my studies didn't actually work out the way I wanted to, and I came to the realization that I urgently need to switch my focus and distractions and start determining my goal. So when returning to university in my second year, motivated, focused and determined that this will be the best year for me, another hurdle came along. So upon registration, my dad wasn't able to assist in further funds for the upcoming year as he lost his business, and I really had to make plans. So I immediately started with a massive setback, and I had to make plans very fast to continue my journey and chase my dream. Luckily, I had amazing mentorship and friends from the University of Stellenbosch and the Dean of Agriculture. This time, my family was still living in Pretoria, and I had to see how I actually was how the university was able to assist me. So at this time, I had this specific quote stuck in my head, and it goes like this. So, be willing to be uncomfortable. Be comfortable being uncomfortable. It may get tough, but it's a small price to pay for living the dream. So with plenty of paperwork, struggles, meetings at the university, they gave me the necessary funds to continue studying and supported me, first of all, emotionally and financially. It was all super hard work from there onward, and I was determined and focused. My third year, I applied yet for another bursary through the Department of Agriculture, and they assisted and gave me the opportunity to continue my studies once again. So luckily I finished my studies in 2014 with plenty of ups and downs, and I was truly blessed with amazing mentors and support from the university and the Department of Agriculture. So entering a male-dominated career, yet again, I had to overcome a few obstacles. And when choosing a male-dominated career, you usually get tormented by ideas that you won't be able to do the physical part of the job. You're not strong enough to live this, or you don't know actually anything about the field that you're trying to do. And these are the type of things that I regularly heard people talking about. But luckily enough, my career started in 2015 at Fred and List Wine Estate as assistant winemaker. So I worked under the supervision of another stellar lady, Susanne Erasmus, who was a female, or one of the best female winemakers at that stage. In 2016, I broadened my knowledge with some international experience from Italy's wine industry when I joined an Italian family working on their farm. And back home in May, in SA, I joined Rupert and Rothschild as assistant winemaker on that side. In the same year, I was accepted for a Burgundy exchange program in France, and studying the Burgundy wine regions with respect to viticulture, oenology, wine processing techniques, and wine chemistry. Following this, I continued my international experience in France. And returning to South Africa, and one of my big highlights was I was appointed in 2017 as Fred and List Cellar Master at the age of 25. And at this age, for me, I was the youngest female winemaker in South Africa, and a total dream come true. So for me, it is where I still live out my passion today and strive to let the flow into my creations with my vision to amplify Fred and List wines across the world and across South Africa. First of all, help and inspire young girls in every community to be the best they can possibly be. Know what you want and work for it. Knowing is deeper and stronger than wishful thinking or hoping. It's a conviction so solid that you can base your life on it. Engage with your intention. Nurture your vision daily. See and feel and hear how you will be experiencing the fulfillment of your life that you want. Practice your passion. There's lots of talent out there. If you have talent, keep on working for it. And raise your energy. Love yourself and be grateful for all that you have in your life right now. Pay attention to all of your blessings and look up. Learn to forgive and laugh at the mistakes that you made along the way. And each day, feel the enthusiasm for your vision as it's already happened. Stay open for the remarkable to take place, because it will. It just takes some patience. and gather positive people around yourself. At the very least, spend people who are supportive for you. Enrich yourself by getting to know others who are actively creating the best for themselves and learn from them. Believe in yourself that you can believe in your vision, and treasure yourself. Do things to show that you take care of yourself. Taking care of your health is a wise investment for your time and attention. Lastly, give your dreams all you've got, and you'll be amazed by the energy that comes out of you. And always remember, the diamond you are, you wear within you. You can call on its beauty and power when you want to stand forward and shine. So cheers to every woman and young girl with their own magnificent journey. Cheers. Thank you.
The Vice Chancellor of the University of Cape Town, Dr. Professor Bake.
Cognitive oppression. It's not in books, ladies and gentlemen. You're not going to find a book on it. I want to talk about cognitive oppression. That's what I named it. Because I thought about what oppression does to us. Oppression, you see, affects the way you see yourself, the way you feel about yourself. The way you see yourself and the way you feel about yourself. That affects you here and here. And therefore shapes how you conduct yourself, how you live your life. Now, cognitive oppression is one that tells you the things that you can do. It limits what you can do, what you think you are capable of. It limits what you think you are capable of. So when you have an opportunity, when you have something that you can achieve, you tell yourself, I cannot do this. This is too big, or I suffer from this and therefore I cannot achieve this. You yourself create the limits because of this cognitive oppression, and with cognitive oppression we impose it on ourselves. We can argue, of course, I'm sure some people might argue that cognitive oppression comes as a result of political oppression of many years and and get trickled down and comes to you I don't want to go there because I think it's a cop-out, you see, because I want to make it coming from here, because if it comes from me, then I can do something about it. Something that comes from outside, it's very difficult to do something about it, because oppression in many ways, it can create a victimhood. You're a victim of oppression, and so when you're a victim, it's like there's nothing you can do, right? So if it comes from outside, it's almost like there's nothing you can do. You wait for someone to wage war in your name, they win it, and then you can be free. This one that I'm talking about is a war that you win yourself, that you don't have to have a political movement to help you win against this oppression. It's the one that you fight yourself, because it's the limitation that you put around you, it's the boundaries that you put around things that you can do or cannot do. That you say, because I'm a woman, I can't do this or I can't do that. Or women can't do this or that, or because I'm a small little black woman. And so how on earth can I do this? How will these professors listen to me? How can I even craft a vision that they believe and they can follow? You can do that if you like, and you can stop yourself from taking on difficult tasks because you build the boundaries around yourself. But how do we free ourselves? How do we free ourselves from this cognitive oppression? If it's political oppression, there will be movement, leadership that will help us. Spiritual oppression, we can go to, those of us who are Christians will go to the Bible and so on. And this one, we can free ourselves. And to free ourselves, we free ourselves by speaking to ourselves. We look at our journeys, we recall the power within us, and we tell ourselves we can make it. And we go on and make it unapologetically. We do that, knowing that when you get on the journey to do the things that you have always thought you will not be able to do. There will be moments of doubt. There will be moments of doubt. There will be times when you think, how did I even think I can do this? And if you don't have doubt on yourself, you will have people who look at you and say, who does she think she is? The bloody narcissist who's full of herself and she thinks she can do anything. And so you're going to have to be throughout the journey talking to yourself and reminding yourself, recalling your inner power and reminding yourself that you can do this. And I have found that in my journey, in the journey of my career, I have had to do that over and over again, because it is not easy to take on any leadership task in this country, especially when you're a black, a small woman, because no one expects us to do anything. Our history told people that people like us are not capable. And when you get the job, our history has also taught us, our people, that when someone like me gets the job, then there must be an affirmative action appointee, and so they call you an equity vice chancellor. It's as if you don't have the credentials, even when you do. And so you've got to always recall your inner power, remind yourself of who you are, what you have done all these years. Of course, to get into those positions, you've got to work hard. You've got to make sure you've got the content, the expertise, the experience, so that you go somewhere to recall, to remind yourself that you do actually deserve to be in that position. If you haven't acquired any experience, expertise, then there's nowhere to go back to. But you acquire those so that you have a place to go and you can free yourself and you can do the task with confidence. But what if you fail? The truth of the matter is, this is the world. None of us is God. And there will be times when you do your best test and things still do not work. Because in leadership positions like the one that I'm having, there is no blueprint. Your big job is to make decisions. Big decisions. No one can make. You make them. And whatever decision you make, there is always someone who will find fault with it. Even the best decisions in the world, someone will find fault with it. Finding fault is the thing of political movements. They're about finding faults. When you're in a university, they will always find fault, because it's like you're running a country, and mine has got 29,000 people. Everyone, mind of its own. And so, sometimes you will make decisions that don't make, actually, you always make decisions, any decision you make, not everyone will be happy with, and sometimes you will miss the point. So what happens when you miss the point? And also what happens on the day that it doesn't go well? I have a file that I call my moments of power. And I go to my moments of power. When I encourage you to build your moments of power, the moments of power you build when you are still coming up and you don't necessarily have too many challenges. And moments of power are pictures of times when you were strong, times when things worked out, times when you felt smart, you felt strong, you felt good, you felt you had it in control. So I have videos, I go on YouTube, and I've collected videos of myself doing a lot of things on YouTube. I've got a folder of things that I wrote, I go to my blog, I've got pictures, whether it's family. Each one of us has got moments of power. Moments of power are moments that we call on when things are tough and you forget who you are. You forget what you're gifted with. You forget how strong you are. You forget how smart you are. You forget how beautiful you are. You forget everything that you have ever achieved. It is very easy to forget it. And let me tell you, this world is set up to make us women. I'm convinced. It is set up to make us women forget that. And so I find that In my job, I sit on many boardrooms, and something that a man does as a misbehavior, they can get away with it. You will never get away with it as a woman. As a woman, you've got to be more than 100 times better. Otherwise, you are a bimbo, especially when you don't look too bad and you put on lipstick. It's almost like these things are interchangeable. To be smart, you can't be a little bit pretty or look yourself in the mirror. And oftentimes I go home and I go, what happened? Why is it that suddenly my lipstick is a problem? What is it? And so, moments of power are important because you might end up thinking there's actually something wrong with you. It is very easy to stop and think there's something wrong with you because you get called all names. Bitchy, self-possessed, narcissistic, self-promoting, insecure, overreacting, everything that's dramatic. When a man loses their cool, their firm, you must respect them. Nobody ever says that about a woman. So you've got to remember your moments of power. If you don't, you will believe what the world tells you. So build up your moments of power. Go to them when things don't work out. Don't give up when things don't work out. Know that all of us who look strong, who look like we have it all together, there are times when we don't get it. Because we're not God. In fact, I tell myself, if I got everything right, the world would be in trouble because I would be God and I would be dealing with you, man. So, I'm not God. So there'll be times when things don't work out right. The issue is what happens then. Don't work out right, I recognize it, I own it. Again, I look at why didn't it work out. I don't externalize it and say it is so and so, it is so and so. I look at what did I contribute to this? Because if I do that, then I can do something about it. I own it. Then I can do something about it to make sure that next time it doesn't happen again. If I say it's not me, it's so and so, it's so and so, it's this, it's that, then I can't do anything about it. Because then I'm giving the responsibility to other people. I own it, but I don't give up, and I don't look down, and I don't beat myself out of the game. Stay in the game. Look at myself, correct the action, and tell myself I am not that mistake. My moments of power tell me a different story. They tell me I'm strong, they tell me I'm beautiful, and there's nothing wrong with my lipstick. They tell me I'm capable, and there's nothing wrong with being ambitious as long as I work hard to achieve my goals. And so I go on after my moments of power. So remind yourself, go to your moments of power. That's how you deal with the limitations that you build around yourself. And don't apologize for being who you are. You are who you are. You are who you are. I mean, we live our lives for so long wanting to be something else. A little thinner, a little this, a little more that, a little whatever. There's a good reason you are who you are. And I'm saying this, you don't know me, but if you work with me or spend time with me, you will know that I'm a little odd. I'm not really, I don't fit in a whole lot of things, you know? So, as a result, I'm a little bit of an acquired taste. And I've had to come to terms with the fact that there's a good reason I'm this. And I say to myself, I'm not disrespectful. I don't drink alcohol. I've never had alcohol in my life. I don't do drugs. I'm not immoral. I'm ethical. I'm whatever. So the fact that people get irritated with my the number of hours I work and how hyperactive I am, and colorful I am, and loud I am, and unusual I am in my space. That's not my problem. I cannot change being that. So I've gotten to the habit of saying, thank you very much, but I am not the previous Vice Chancellor. And I do not want to be them. And you should be happy that I am not them. So stop asking me to be them. Otherwise, you will find faults with yourself all the time. And therefore, you will never be the best you can be, because then you have to play into the mode of someone else. And that's building, like limiting yourself. You can only be your best if you are you. Just be, because you are enough. Thank you very much.
If you look at this evening, we've got all ages and women from all walks of life, and I think that is just amazing. It doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter what your situation is right now, you deserve to be here. Say yes, come on. So now also, of course, it's also to have that exchange of mentoring between women and girls. And maybe the next Mamuketi, right? Absolutely, listen to them, yes. So please, this is the girls from Sinenjongo High School. Give them a hand, everyone. Carol Boys, fabulous Resilient Woman Award goes to Griselda Grootboom, founder of the Survivor Instant Foundation, to the stage. Oh no. Congratulations.
I'd like to say thank you so much. I grew up on the streets of Cape Town, and I didn't get the opportunity you got. So this opportunity you have, cherish it and appreciate it. I traveled all over the world, but I'm back at school doing my grade 12, and that is another journey that I'm taking. To the fabulous woman, she's amazing. Her silence is the most peacefulness. And I was trying to figure out about a speech, but I could only find to say thank you to the women that have helped me to be where I am. First, Ms. Susan Ackermans. It's one of those women that today helps with my academics. But most of all, you know, I went through the letter love. And when we women become lonely, we first seek love. And again, the O stands for our own strength. And then the V stands that we're so victorious in the work areas that we go in, we still overcome. And E stood up for me, you know, the health problems we go through as women in this country, we endure it. We endure the cancer challenges, we endure HIV, but we still wake up the next morning and love. So thank you so much, and be blessed.
The Carol Boys, fabulous, resilient girl, and top performer award goes to Sibashle Swebe. Congratulations, Sibashle. The Carol Boys Fabulous Woman Humanitarian Award 2019 goes to Basha Taylor. Basha Taylor.
You will know who you are. I'm from Hammanskraal, born in the villages. Started schooling in 1984. There were no classes, by the way, under the tree. There were no toilets, there was no water. There wasn't even any proper infrastructure. And this is how my schooling started. I always share this because my first encounter with a white person was when I was 16, 17, because that was the only time you could go to town and realize as a village girl that there are other people that doesn't look like you. And the shock of that made me realize that actually there's quite a lot out there. And I just want to encourage each and every young girl tonight. Don't ever think that no one understands what you're going through. Because all of us here, we know, and that is why we are here tonight. And we are here for you. I do the work that I do because I was raised in a poor home. I know what poverty is. I also slept without food. I slept hungry for days to end. And I believe many will understand what I'm saying, what I'm talking about. And I know how hard it can be to look forward to schooling when there is nothing to look forward to. Raised by an alcoholic father, the situation gets worse. So in as much as we want to refute the fact that we've got problems, but we are sitting with bigger problems. And that is why we have to come together, like this evening, and say to our girls, we love you. And we are behind you, and we will fight for you. I'm a registered nurse. Most of the time I'm in provincial hospitals, and I'm fighting for young girls' reproductive health. I'm fighting for their right. For health, by the way. There's quite a lot of challenges, and anyone who's a medical professional in here will know. And I'm thankful for this, because it will keep me going, because it's not an easy fight. It's not easy, but thank you.
The Carol Boys Fabulous Women Sisterhood Awards goes to oh my goodness, Dr. Ritabile Shonibayo.
This award goes to Furufero Mula.
Some of the speakers mentioned Ada, especially Prof. She said, people will ask you, why aren't you like the previous Vice Chancellor? I was asked the very same question, why aren't you like the previous CEO? You know, and I said, my goal is different. To me, when you train somebody and you let them go with a qualification, you're doing a quarter of a job. But when you skill them and you give them an opportunity to be employable, or you actually employ them, then you're dealing with the problem. As a country, we have a very, very, very big problem. We have a very, very big problem. And if you don't give a child a skill that they need in order for them to put bread on the table, then you're not doing anything. We have trained so many people. I mean, I've got over 1,000 kids. I call them my kids. I'm a kid myself. I don't know how to call other kids my kids, but yeah, I have over 1,000 kids that I look after every single day, and they all know that I'm accessible to us. And when I say us, this is for me and my entire team. I'm not superwoman. I couldn't have achieved any of that alone. To my partner, my husband that's sitting there with me, thank you so much for the support. He thinks I've got the craziest ideas, but yet he pushes me. You know, so thank you so much for the support. Sponsor for this opportunity for women like myself to be recognized and to...
Ladies and gentlemen, the Carol Boys Fabulous Girl of the Year Award goes to Katleho Mapala. The face of the tourist industry in South Africa, currently mentoring six girls who have gone on to complete their degrees and get jobs in top companies in South Africa, in Johannesburg, as well as in Cape Town. Congratulations.
The Carol Boys Fabulous Woman of the Year goes to Toko Mia!
to my business partner. I could not be here without her. We are a mom-daughter duo, and all the credit goes to Baratang for always being the inspiration behind what I do. She's an incredible woman.
Carol has supported gender empowerment both within and outside her company, constantly investing in her staff, upskilling them, and to ensure the future growth of the business and to support community upliftment. Today, her company designs and manufactures a meticulously crafted product range of well over 1,000 items and sells over 1 million items every year. Products are always imbued with Carol's trademark artistic flair and finesse. The Coral Boys brand is available throughout South Africa and in over 30 other countries. Unfortunately, Carol Boys couldn't be with us. Can I call Michelle Stierman, her representative, to come on stage? I must say, when I sat down with the team and we thought, who are we going to honor this year? And Carol's name just came to mind. We've honored a lot of women previously. We inducted them into the Hall of Fame, your Winnie Mandela's, your Wendy Luhabi's, and I'm excited to induct Carol Boys into the Hall of Fame award because she's done a remarkable work. Growing up, when I got married, I remember I went to her store, I look around and I thought, wow, what is this? And I asked the ladies who were selling at the shop, who's the owner of this shop? And they said, Carol Boys. I thought, wow, this is really amazing. I asked all my friends and family to get me Carol Boys gifts. Yes, and some were complaining about the price. And I remember some brought me those gifts and I was so inspired. Till today, I still buy Carol Boys products. And I must say, she's an inspiration to me. I look up to her. I had a chat with Michelle the other day, and Michelle told me that one day she went to Carol and said, what can I do with this advertising or advertisement? And Carol said, you do it. So she is that one woman who doesn't look at your qualification or where you come from. She pushes you to do things for yourself. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm truly honored to induct Carol Boys into the Fabulous Women Hall of Fame Award.
Carol's message to everybody was, don't be ordinary, be extraordinary, and you will be noticed. Thank you.
Social media prizes for tweets and Instagram and so forth. So right now, I'm going to ask my lady over here if she can come and help me with those prizes. So get ready, everyone. Your name, or let me rather say, your social media handle. Some very creative ones out there, I have to say. Makes me think. But those will be mentioned right now. So the first social media tweet, very creative one. You go by the name of Crescendo on here tonight. Now has sponsored wine as well, and there's some wine as well as vouchers sponsored.
What really stood out for me was serving. That's how we'll go forward, is starting from that position.
I made a few notes. I'm quite good at this, actually. There's two things I took note of because I felt, they were quite powerful. She said, when people see you, they see your achievements. But when you see yourself, you see what you haven't achieved. That's one. Secondly, she said, you must be fully present into every gift that's been given to you. Thank you.
My favorite quote was, be different and be extraordinary. Because I've discovered that as an individual, you are unique. You've got your own talent, and everyone in this room, we've got our own success, and we need to reach towards that. That is what I grasped today, and I hope and promise to take it back to my community and empower other women.
We are young black people. That from that sister told us that our background does not tell you who you are. That we must fight and achieve what you want in life. And what I want to say to Bonjo, Sis Bonjo, that thank you for giving us this opportunity, and thank you, and please do it and keep it up. Thank you.
I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good creeping up on you, so just dance, dance, dance. Come on, all those things I shouldn't do, but you